What would happen if I stop paying child support services I can provide for my son on my own? That's the question that we have from Tulsa attorney James Wirth. So we've got what appears to be a custody case that's gone through a family law court in Oklahoma, and there's been an order for child support. And it sounds like this order for child support has it being paid through child support services with DHS. And he's saying, what if I don't pay it through DHS? What if I just take care of my son on my own? Well, there's a couple different ways to interpret that. So first off, maybe he's talking about, I'm going to pay the child support, but I'm going to pay it direct to the mom or the dad, depending on the circumstances, the custodial parent, rather than going through child support services. Or this could be interpreted is that I take care of my son, I buy him things directly, so I don't need to pay child support to anybody. So I'll kind of handle them in succession. So the first one, it's ordered to go through DHS child support services, but you're paying it directly to the custodian. So what's the problem with that? Well, a couple of different problems. One, if there's an open case with Oklahoma DHS, then they can start enforcement proceedings. So if you're not paying through them, to them it's going to look like you're not paying at all, which could cause them to file contempt citation. And then at that point, the burden is going to be, because it was ordered to pay through DHS, there's going to be a presumption if they don't have any payments that you didn't pay, so the burden's going to be on you to demonstrate that you did pay and you paid direct to the mom. So in any scenario, if you're paying direct to the mom or the dad, the custodial parent, you want to have good evidence of that. So if you're doing checks, that would be a great way to do it. Cash, not good unless you get a receipt indicating what you've paid. Because what we have happen a lot of times is we'll have obligors, the non-custodial parent, making the payments. They don't have good records of it. And then when a contempt is filed, the other parent says they didn't receive it. You have little to rebut that. And if it's supposed to go through DHS and they're saying we don't show any record of payment, you might be ordered and forced to pay child support twice. So you don't want to be in that scenario. What we see from the obligor's perspective, and representing the non-custodial parent, is that although it's annoying and a hassle sometimes to have DHS involved, it can be a benefit because they're good record keepers for the most part. So if you're paying through them, they're going to have good record of that. That is a third-party record. So if mom is lying about what she received, or dad, the custodial parent, is lying about what they received, you've got good records from DHS to indicate that those payments were paid by you, so you're in a good position. So if you're really good at handling records on your own, that's one thing, but if you're not, sometimes it can be good to pay through DHS just for that purpose. Answering the question the other way. So you don't want to pay through DHS child support services because you take care of your son on your own. So if we interpret that as meaning that, you buy the kid, clothes, pay for their extracurriculars, do all these other things, so you shouldn't have to pay child support, the court's not going to see it that way. If you have a child support order, then you need to follow that order. It is an order of the court. It is enforceable through contempt, which means if you don't do it, and it can be demonstrated that you could have done it, you had the ability to pay, but you didn't pay, they could throw you in jail for up to 6 months based on that. So you don't want to be in that scenario. So even if you're providing for your son separately, you still need to make sure that you're following the court's order. And if it says you're supposed to pay child support, you need to pay that child support. If you're dealing with these circumstances though, you're going to want specific information related to what you're going through rather than general information on the internet. To get an appointment scheduled with an attorney at my office to receive strategic legal advice, go online to makelaweasy.com.